Answer the question.
Okay. Tell you one thing, if you're a citizen, if you're not a citizen, it's less. For example, you're not.
Pod this idiot down again.
Before you ask me anything, you can ask me whatever you want, but I just wanted to, ask Ben or something. Hey, I want you and Brian to go together on Piers Morgan show. I want you there too. I think there's.
I don't think I'm popular. I'm not popular.
We'll work on that, but we'll work on that. But let's try to stay on topic here, X. So X. You've made statements on this show where you think Donald Trump is doing okay. So I want to ask you, what do you make of the fact that Epstein's victims, some of the victims were speaking in D.C. today, and then moments after that press conference, the guy who you said is doing okay said that it was a Democratic hoax. Do you think the Epstein files and Epstein, it's all a Democratic hoax? What do you make of Donald Trump saying that?
The truth will come out. That's what I'm saying. The truth will come out.
I don't know about that.
Hold on, X. Why doesn't Donald Trump want the truth to come out?
I'm saying it will come out.
That's not my question.
Say that.
That's not my question. I need you to focus. Why doesn't Donald Trump want the truth to come out? That's my question to you.
There's multiple reasons. One, one possibility is he could be in there.
I think that's a strong possibility. Yeah.
Good job, X. Very good.
What are the other possibilities?
Look, listen, I'm not going to defend, people who are right, wrong. That's what I'm saying. I try to give.
What are the other possibilities?
The other possibilities, there's other victims, in there.
No, that's not. Hold on. With respect, that's not a possibility because he can release the files today. Hold on. Let me explain to you why. He could release the files today, but he can redact the names, which they would do, of every single victim. So you're wrong.
And they had 10 victims there today saying we don't care if they know our names.
So just to be clear, X, that is not a possibility. Go ahead, give me another one.
Okay, another possibility that I believe could be is there could be other powerful people.
Well, I think that's certainly plausible and a possibility, but is that an excuse to not release the files?
I feel like it's a mix of two sides. There's something going on. That's what I'm saying. Look, listen, the truth will come out.
So how could you say he's doing an okay job then? I don't understand. How can you say he's okay?
Like I said, I said he's doing an okay job on the border. I didn't say about this.
No, he's not. No, he's not. No, he's not doing a good job on the border. He's taking away people's rights. He's not giving them due process. He's decided that to send out men in masks who don't identify themselves to throw people in white vans and other vehicles without identifying themselves, without a warrant. And this is in America. This is America. This is not some other country. And you're saying just because it shuts down the border a little bit and it has less people and people are getting deported, it's okay to take away their due process rights, their search and seizure rights, their rights as human beings?
You're saying
that's a good job?
You can litigating, but you can't provide the names. That's what I'm saying. We're going
listen, yes, actually you can. I've given you names like Garcia and other names of people that are not getting due process. I've given you names and you just don't want to face the reality. So let me ask you some specific questions. Is it okay with you for people to get arrested outside of the courtroom when they're trying to go through the judicial process of trying to become naturalized citizens?
What you told them to do.
X, are you okay with agents outside of courtrooms tackling fathers and mothers to the ground without giving them due process when they're trying to do it the right way? Are you okay with that? Yes or no? Just say yes or no.
Obviously not. But but let me explain.
Okay. Hold on. No. Hold on. You're the one who said that you like what he's doing with immigration. You just admitted that you're not okay with some of his immigration policy. How do you feel about people?
You're not letting me speak. You're only allowing.
Well, you said that he's doing it. You like
you're only trying to talk about one point. That's what I'm saying.
No, there's several points.
No, that's not true. You said you like his immigration policy.
Can I speak? Yes or no? If I can't speak, then
you can speak. You can speak, but you're not. You just said you're not okay with what he's doing.
Let me just explain to you. That's what I'm saying. You're trying to just put yes and no. Again, if you're not legal, what I'm saying is you don't have the same, your rights are more limited.
Not true. Not true. No, this is why I'm going to interrupt you. Cut him down. Yeah, let's check the Constitution. What does it say in the Constitution, X? Does it say any citizen deserves the right to due process? Or does it say any person deserves the right to due process? As I pod you back up, X, let's take a second grade civics test. Stop talking. Answer my question. Does it say any citizen deserves the right to due process? Don't say okay. or does it say any person?
Fact check the internet.
Answer the question. Does it say any person or any citizen?
Like I said, again, I'm explaining to you,
no, you're not going to explain to me. No, you're not going to waste my airtime, and you're not going to explain to me anything. You're going to either answer my question, or you could be a coward, and I'm going to hang up the phone. You just said they don't have the right to due process. You have to go by the Constitution. I just asked you a very simple second grade question, which is, and I'm going to repeat it again, and you're going to answer it or the conversation is over.
Come on.
Does it say in the Constitution, will you stop talking? Stop talking and listen and get the MAGA wax out of your ears. Does it say, stop talking?
I'm not MAGA.
Pot him down again. You know what? You might not be MAGA, but you're also not very intelligent. Stop talking and listen.
I'm hoping that he'll answer.
I'm going to ask you one more time.
On,
does it say in our Constitution any citizen deserves the right to due process, or does it say any person deserves the right to due process? Answer the question.
But if I answer, you're not going to interrupt me. That's what I'm saying. Period.
If you answer the question.
Okay. Tell you one thing, if you're a citizen, if you're not a citizen, it's less. For example,
you pod this idiot down again.
He's trying to say that there's a difference between someone who's a citizen and someone's a person. If you were on a cruise ship and you came from another country and you walked onto the shores of New York City, let's say, and something happened where you were arrested or there was a question, that same person who's not a citizen now gets due process. You can't just take them and book them without any due process.
Let me explain to X. X, you could keep talking if you want to, but I'm not listening. In our Constitution, it says any person deserves the right to due process. There aren't innuendos in there. Oh, well, if you're undocumented, you don't get this, this, and this. It says any person deserves the right to due process. There are thousands and thousands and thousands of people that have been deported, that have been sent to El Salvador prisons and other prisons around the world that are one of the highest maximum security prisons on the planet. And Maxwell is being treated better than these people, many of whom have never committed a violent crime in their life. Yet you think he's doing a good job on immigration when he's not giving people the right. See, the problem with you is you don't listen. I'm trying to educate you because you sound like a very uneducated man. And I'm trying.
He didn't listen at all.
And I'm trying to be patient with you, but all you do is you keep talking and you don't listen.
He didn't.
Okay.
He didn't
you
listen.
have no idea what it says in the Constitution. You have no idea. Do you realize how uneducated you are on this issue? Do you understand, X? By the way, what's your real name? Why do you call in as X? Because you don't want people all over the country to know how dumb you are? Why don't you tell us your real name? Why is your name X?
That's for me to know.
Oh, that's for you.
He doesn't want to answer anything.
Yeah. You don't want to answer.
Is he a MAGA? Did you vote for Trump?
Yeah.
He must have voted for Trump.
He did.
He did. I could tell.
I don't buy anything.
I can tell.
You don't even know what it says in the Constitution. No,
he has no argument.
You don't need to explain to me anything. You're a waste of my time.
He's low information.
You're a waste of my time. You have Trump fellatio syndrome. Answer my question, dumbass.
I just wanted to just comment on something that you had said.
Okay.
When you were saying, you said the war in the Middle East is not over because Hamas is going door to door executing people.
Yeah, that wasn't part of the ceasefire deal. So part of the ceasefire deal was that Hamas doesn't execute innocent people. You are aware, right, Dan?
Right. No, I agree with that.
Okay.
I see what you're saying.
Gotcha.
My question to you is, you seem to have criticism that the war is still going on.
Well, yeah, it is.
Have criticism when there's a peace deal signed.
Well, yeah, because there was no peace deal.
Hang on. Since Hamas violated the ceasefire, let me correct myself, the ceasefire, do you think that if it keeps going on, that Trump should take action and eliminate Hamas or allow Israel to do so? Because Israel isn't the one attacking Hamas. And it's crazy because everyone knew this is what Hamas was going to do.
I'm curious what your question is. I never said Israel was responsible for Hamas's actions yesterday.
The war is still going on.
Yes, the war is still going on. Did I say Israel broke the ceasefire this time? Did I blame Israel?
But you said
no. Hold on. What did I say? What did I say?
You said the war is still going on.
Correct. Does that mean I'm blaming Israel right now?
by saying the war is still going on.
So you think by me saying, okay, let me be clear.
Let me finish.
No. You need to listen, because people like, with all due respect, Dan, I'm happy to have a conversation with you, but you don't listen to what I say. I said multiple times in this show that Hamas broke the ceasefire. So two things could be right at the same time. The war is still going on. Hamas broke the ceasefire. Why is that hard for you to follow, Dan, with respect? Why is that hard for you to follow? Both statements I made are true.
The way you're describing it is like it's a zero-sum game. Like,
okay, now let me describe it again for you. Let me try to help me out. Tell me if you're confused. Donald Trump said the war was over. It was never over. You know why? Because Hamas was still armed and they weren't decimated and they were still in power in many parts of Gaza. Hope I cleared that up for you. Now, hold on. I need you to listen. Okay, tell me where I'm wrong with the statement, where I will repeat myself once again. The war is not over and Hamas broke the ceasefire. Explain to me where I'm wrong, sir. Go ahead.
Because by saying the war is not over and by saying the ceasefire was broken, you're implying that both parties are still at conflict.
Let me repeat myself again for a fourth time. And yeah, you're damn right. They're still. You're damn right, sir. I let you speak. Now it's my turn. Okay, sir. The problem is you don't know how to listen. I listen. Don't oh my God me. Okay, this has nothing to do with God, and it has everything to do with you having MAGA wax in your ears. So pay attention. I'm going to say it again. The war was never over. There was still a conflict between Hamas and Israel. The reason why this time around is because Hamas broke the ceasefire. They executed innocent people. So to say that there isn't still a conflict makes you an imbecile. And to say that I'm not implying something when I'm saying it now for a fifth time, please listen. Hamas broke the ceasefire. The war is still going on. What part of that do you not understand? I'm trying to speak very slowly. Let me guess, you're a Trump supporter. Let me guess, you're a Trump supporter. Dan, are you a Trump supporter, Dan?
I'm actually a registered independent.
Okay, good. But who did you vote for?
And I supported Obama. I didn't ask you.
I did not ask you who you supported 4 or 8 years ago. Dan, I'm staying very much on topic to try to prove that people who voted for Donald Trump, many of them are imbeciles. No, we're staying on topic. Who did you vote for in 2024? You have TFS Trump. You have Trump fellatio syndrome. Answer my question, dumbass. Who did you vote for in 2024? I didn't ask who you voted for 8 years ago. I didn't ask who you voted for 12 years ago. Who did you vote for? Now, we all know the answer because you're a moron, but just explain to the world and the people that are listening, who did you vote for? Answer the question. In 2024, did you vote for Kamala Harris or did you vote for Donald Trump? Why won't you answer that?
I voted for Donald J.
What a shocker. Pot him down. What a shocker that a moron who voted for Donald Trump thinks that when I say the war isn't over, that I'm blaming Israel for that right now. What a moron. When I say Hamas broke the ceasefire, but somehow he wants to reference that to me blaming Israel. Sir, you're just a complete jackass. I knew you were a Trump supporter the first second you started talking. Let me try to go slow for you one more time, Dan, because you sound like you're very, very special. And by the way, by special, I don't mean that in a positive note, okay? You see, sir, Israel and Hamas are in something called a conflict and or a war. You see, sir, Donald Trump said he ended the war. Let's try to go very slowly, sir, and answer some of my questions if you can, okay? I'm going to speak very slowly for you, so even somebody like you might be able to understand. They're yes or no answers, okay? I don't need to hear you roll out a bunch of irrelevant things. I don't care if you didn't vote for Obama or Hillary. So as we pod you back up, sir, my question to you is, did Donald Trump end the war, yes or no? If you don't answer my questions, the conversation, yes or no? Did Donald Trump end the war, yes or no? Answer the question or the conversation's over. The question was not about a ceasefire. I need you to focus, sir, okay? I didn't use the term ceasefire in my question, so let's try this again. I know you're a MAGA supporter and you struggle answering very basic. No, sir, pot him down again. I don't hear about your explanation. It's a yes or no answer. I'll ask it one more time, and if you don't answer the question, you can go screw yourself, okay? Or pleasure yourself to your Donald Trump poster, one or the other. I guess it's the same thing. So here it goes, sir. You ready? The question has nothing to do with a ceasefire. Did Donald Trump end the war like he said he did 2 days ago? Is there peace in the Middle East? And did Donald Trump end the war? Yes or no, you MAGA buffoon? Yes or no?
There is peace everywhere in the Middle East.
Bye-bye. Have a nice day. Notice how they can't answer a very basic question. By the way, sir, the answer is no. Not only are you not capable of answering a question, but you might be the dumbest MAGA caller that's ever called into this show. Somehow me saying the war isn't over insinuates that it's Israel's fault, which is absurd. Secondly, I've said 10 times in this conversation that Hamas are the ones that broke this ceasefire. And thirdly, because you look up to your orange turd, adjudicated, abusive leader in Donald Trump, you won't answer the very basic question. Let me help you out, sir. Okay? By the way, I'm not sure anybody could help you, but I'm going to try here. You see, Donald Trump lied to the American people, and he said the war was over. It's not. Donald Trump said there was peace in the Middle East 2 days ago, and idiots like you said he deserved the Nobel Peace Prize. There is no peace in the Middle East right now. Hamas is executing innocent people, and the war is not over. I'm glad I can give you this history lesson, sir. Thank you so much for calling in and proving how ignorant you Trump supporters truly are. What a shocker. And if one person commits a heinous crime, they like to paint all people that are undocumented in this country as murderers. And guess what? I refuse to do that because it's a joke. I don't know why you hung up the phone, X, because I think that could have been a very good. I really wanted to figure out what Donald Trump has done so well.
You know, what I wanted to ask you was, like, you know, normally the party that's in power, like, you know, ends up doing pretty bad in the midterm. So what I wanted to ask you was, if that's the case, like, you know, why is, like, you know, when I'm looking at data and research, like, you know, you could check it up too, like, you know, if you want, you could fact check me, like, you know, tomorrow or any other day. Why is the Pennsylvania registration, why is, like, Arizona registration, like 430,000, like, you know, extra registered Republicans? Like, what I'm saying is, like, Arizona, Pennsylvania, why is the GOP having a field day when it comes to registration?
Why is the GOP having a field day when it comes to registration? What do you mean by that?
Like, what I'm saying is, like, you know, check it out. Like, Arizona has, like, almost 400,000 extra Republican registered now. Like, you know, Arizona's, like, you know, it's not even like, it's like kind of like a lean R state now. Like, and Pennsylvania is, like, you know, shifting more to the right too. Like, you know, registration. Like, you know, you can check it in 2025. Like, you know, they have the registration.
I can't. So X, I can't speak to why, you know, a certain number of Republicans or Democrats are registering in certain states. I can tell you that Donald Trump certainly has gotten a lot more people involved in politics. I would say a lot of the wrong people. I would use Charlie Kirk as an example of that as well. And younger people getting brainwashed by his hateful rhetoric that he used. That's the only thing I can really speak to that, is that Donald Trump has gotten a lot more people involved in politics that normally were not involved. He sees it more as a reality show. More than anything else, and he cares about ratings and all this other stuff. But
what I could tell you is, for, like, in the 2028, like, you know, when it comes to, like, election time and stuff like that, what I'm saying is, like, you know, even if, like, you know, for example, if the president seems like it's out of reach and it's going to be MAGA, like, you know, we could at least, like, you know, slow the agenda down if you win the midterms. Like, for example, like, you know, win a House majority and get a divided.
You think Republicans are going to win the midterms? You think they'll have a good midterm? Is that what you think?
Like, you know, based on registration. And
well,
let's
forget about but let's forget about registration for a moment. Like, let's look at the first 7-8 months of Donald Trump's term. What has he done good?
What I'm saying is, like so far, things are just getting rougher and rougher, and things are getting more expensive. But of course,
but X,
like,
slow down. Hold on.
Down to Virginia and New Jersey, like,
X, hold on. X, let's try to slow down. X, let's try to slow down a little bit.
Yeah.
In the first 7 or 8 months of Donald Trump's administration, what has he done well?
What has he done good? Like, you know, like, the only one of the few bills that I actually agree with is the Lincoln Riley Act.
I'm sorry, the what? Can you repeat that?
The Lincoln Riley Act.
Mm-hmm. So let me ask you a question. And obviously we agree on this. Obviously, anybody, whether you're undocumented or not, anybody who commits a heinous crime like that should be put away for the rest of their life, and it's horrible. And we don't want people
the Lincoln Riley won bipartisan support, though. That would be one.
Well, I think it's a pretty logical thing, and both sides should support that. But why is it that when Donald Trump was president first go around, he didn't talk about people who were brutal victims of crimes by undocumented immigrants? I'm just curious because you do understand that did happen under Donald Trump's first administration, right? And he hangs up the phone. Okay. Thank you for the call, X. I appreciate it. So you want to talk about the Lincoln-Riley Act. And you can tell me that that's the first thing that comes to mind. By the way, if you're an American citizen, there's a better chance that you could be the victim of a crime from an American citizen than you do from somebody that is an undocumented immigrant. And no, I'm not too worried about overwhelming majority of people that are in this country that are undocumented. They want a better life for themselves and their families. And if one person commits a heinous crime, they like to paint all people that are undocumented in this country as murderers. And guess what? I refuse to do that because it's a joke. I don't know why you hung up the phone, X, because I think that could have been a very good. I really wanted to figure out what Donald Trump has done so well that you think that the midterms are going to go so well for Republicans, because I couldn't disagree with you more on that one.